Hi everybody, so I'm going to do another episode of my own Crash Course History. So I'm going to read a little bit from the textbook and then I will try to add to it. Okay, so in 1534, and pardon if I can't pronounce certain words because they're not like English type words. So here we go. Mi'kmaq Indians rowed a fleet of more than 40 canoes out into the Gulf of St. Lawrence to meet Frenchman Jack Carter's ship. Carter was frightened until he realized that the pointed sticks the Mi'kmaq were waving at his men had animal skins attached to them. They were signaling that they wanted to trade. 6 years later, and over 1,000 miles to the south, the Kaksika, female leader of Coffeetucky, a native province in what is now South Carolina, heard that an army of foreigners had entered her country. She gathered other leaders and went out to meet them with gifts, tanned leather hides, blankets, and certain food. She placed a necklace of pearls on the army's commander, Spaniard Hernando de Soto. Everywhere in the Americas that Europeans went, native people met them with their own diplomatic rituals and invitations to make trading and military alliances. Other Europeans sometimes called the Americas a new world that Christopher Columbus discovered. The nations and peoples of the Americas composed a world just as fully developed as those in the Old World. Fortunately for Europeans, trade with these newcomers was exactly what many of them wanted. So, and there's more of that I'll dive into later on as well. But it's like the Old World will be like in the countries of Europe, where like all these countries have already been around with all these people and languages and history and all that stuff. And when Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas, there were already people here. In North America, South America, Central America, there were already people here. So honestly, any European that set foot in these continents did not discover anything. There were already people here. In fact, Native Americans, what we know of today, the indigenous people of these countries in North America, in South America, in Central America, at least from the North America continent, the indigenous people came from Asia. They came from Russia, and there was a land bridge that connected Russia to Alaska. And that's how come those people came over here. And then from Alaska, throughout Canada and the west of the United States, all the way down to Mexico, all those people filled up the continent of North America. And they have already had like a whole bunch of their own history before Christopher Columbus set foot on any Americas, which I would get more into Christopher Columbus and how much I hate him so much with a passion. And I hate it when my birthday falls on his day, which is now Indigenous Peoples Day. So yeah, that makes my birthday a little bit better because I rather celebrate Native Americans and all what they have done than to celebrate a man that stole credit of discovering a new nation and do all these atrocities against the natives. So so people need to understand that, and I feel like this was a good episode to focus more on. The next episode of my own Crash Course, I will dive into a timeline because I love timelines, and I feel like just going through a timeline would give people a better idea of like when stuff happened throughout history. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you tomorrow, hopefully on my next video, whatever inspiration strikes. So see you then. Bye bye. Take care.